Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pendulum Friday for May 23rd. Lots and lots of questions today, so I'm just going to get at it. A couple of things I just want to kind of sort out. There was a question about, like, sort of a blunt, who will die first, Trump or Biden? I can't answer that um, because the energy shift and change. Right now, I can tell you that energetically, Biden is in good shape. He's like strong. Um, I'm not saying that this is going to be hard on him and his family, but as of right now, he has a fair bit of fight in him. And then there was questions about the opposition leader here in Canada, um, but they're more like talk about this as opposed to yes or no questions. So we're going to move past that. For whoever submitted these things, please resubmit them, but do it in a question form that can be answered yes or no. Will a group of individuals or countries, NATO or ICC, band together and stop this madness? Let's see what the pendulum says. I mean, my sort of instant reaction is they haven't stopped the madness in other countries. And charging somebody with crimes that The Hague would look at. Well, it's fine and wonderful, but it's not like you can march into that country and arrest the guy. So, but let's ask, will a group of individuals or countries, NATO or ICC, band together? Okay, you actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 different, 5 different questions here. So let's find it down. Pendulum. Okay, so side to side, it's ready to talk. Back and forth is yes, round and round is no. Go stop. It doesn't move or moves really little. It's because either the answer isn't available, the answer isn't known yet, and sometimes it's just none of our business. Um, so let's ask this. Is there going to be any sort of group or organization that is going to have a significant enough impact to remove Trump from the office? Okay, so no answer. Let's see. Oh, by the way, just somebody commented in the comment section last week that it feels as if the pendulum is reluctant to answer certain questions. Um, and I don't disagree. But part of what the problem is right now is that the energies are so scattered and staticky that literally in some cases what is a yes or no answer at 10 o'clock in the morning is not a yes or no answer by 2 in the afternoon. Everything's in flux so fast. So that's just why sometimes it feels like the pendulum just is like saying, I don't know. All right, I'm just going to try to ask that another way. Will Trump be removed from office as opposed to leave office? Will he be removed from the office of the president in this term? Yes. Okay, this is sort of a personal question, but I have Ohio QMB Medicaid. This is because I am divorced and did not make much money when I worked. QMB pays for my Medicare premiums, the 20%, and for my medicine. So this is important to me. Will I be able to keep it? Apparently, they did pass the big, beautiful budget. So we'll see where it goes. It's not going to, I mean, this was stage one. I don't believe it's going to get through the Senate, but we shall see. Um, is this um, woman going to be able to, will she retain it, that coverage? And again, no answer. I'm not liking the energy here. Hold on here. Pendulum. Is this woman going to be able to uh, continue having the coverage that she requires? It's a small yes. Will Project 2025 win? Good question. And the answer is no. Okay, this is a little confusing. Is Mark Carney going to get a trade deal before the long weekend between provinces and territories, as well as tariffs from the states? Okay, so our long weekend was the May long weekend. It this past Monday, and your whatever that is, Independence Day. Maybe I'm not sure what holiday you call that one. Um, is coming up this coming Monday. So I'm going to remove the time frame because it's not there's no clarity there. Is Mark Carney going to be able to continue moving forward with getting a trade deal between Canadian provinces and territories? Goodness gracious. It's looking like a yes, but it's not going to be easy peasy. Is there some truth to say that the USA has been in a cycle of aggression and violence since Trump came down the escalator in 2016? Yes. And I can remember back then, and all of a sudden, everybody was so angry and just violence just picked up everywhere. And it was a very funny energy that he sort of ushered in or enabled. But yeah. Okay. Will Caroline Levitt leave her job as White House press secretary by September? No. Well, that's disappointing. By November of 2025. It's a small yes. A group of white South Africans were brought to the US and given refugee status. Were they handpicked by Musk? I'm getting a yes. If so, were they brought here to spread racism? So you're getting a really, really little no. So what I'm energetically getting is that wasn't the original intention, but if it does that, then that's a happy byproduct, according to the people who have been brought in. Would we be shocked at the number of people around 45 that are Russian agents? Yes. And this is the thing, right? Before 2016, 2014, 2012, one would have been a disaster. And now it's just sort of taken as, oh, well, what are you going to do? It's Trump. Is the Trump administration really going to deport Ukrainian refugees in the United States? Sorry. So, yes. Did Putin tell him to do it? And it feels as if it wasn't something that Putin told him to do, as much as something that he offered, or something that um, he thought Putin would like. Are the ICE agents made up of different groups, like Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, J6 insurrectionists, militia members? Are some of the ICE agents, some, made up of various militia type groups? So, yes. Have the ICE agents been trained by Eric Prince? It's this thing called Blackwater something, right? Okay, we're getting a yes, and what I'm hearing is some of them have. The next question is, are the ICE agents being trained by Eric Prince's private military contractors? And that's also a strong yes. Let's not forget, this is for entertainment purposes only. Oh, God. Last week, 27 people were killed in tornadoes in Missouri and Kentucky. Were some of those deaths due to lack of proper response and warnings by the government? Big yes. So apparently, Josh Hawley is running around begging Trump for disaster relief, even though he voted to, I don't know, damage, reduce, whatever, disaster aid. So he votes because, that's what Trump wants. And then a disaster happens, and now he's running around saying, but we need relief. Like it's just pathetic. Like it just is. The hypocrisy and the lies are just off scale. Will the stock market crashing and roller coaster stop or settle and be more stable by the end of the year? So, okay, I'm getting a no. Will it continue to drop in 2026? Let's go early 2026. Small yes. Is the stock market going to be stable by this time next year, 12 months from now? Will there be more stability? Yes. Will Trump's big, beautiful bill, the budget, be passed by the Senate? Okay, so it got approved by the House, and all you can see in the hallways is representatives running away from reporters, like literally running away from reporters. Um, is it gonna pass the Senate? To no. Will Medicare survive? Okay, so we're getting a yes. Will Medicare experience some changes or shifts? Yes. Um, it's sort of like just typical of what's going on there, and particularly with Doge, right? It's like they fire all these people, and then they can't rehire them fast enough. And they're having trouble rehiring them. And you can't blame these people, right? It's like, yeah, fired me once for no good reason. Why should I come back and rescue your ass? But um, I don't know. Will any form of SNAP benefits and Medicaid remain intact for recipients? If I'm getting a really strong yes there. My question, ultimately, is it going to be slightly different than it is now? And that's a yes. Will the Republicans suffer losses of seats if they pass a harsh bill that cuts SNAP, Medicaid, and Medicare? This is the thing. I suspect that they're going to lose seats in the midterm, even if they don't do that, because there's so much other stuff that people are just horrified, disgusted, appalled with. In the next 10 to 12 years, will the Republican Party just dissolve and disappear into irrelevance? Okay, that's a yes. That's a yes. I'm going to leave it at that. In the next 10 to 12 years, will the Democratic Party split into two, progressives and moderates? Yes. Will Citizens United be overturned by 2028? That's a no. By 2032. And that's a yes. It's not going to get overturned until you have the Dems with all three, the House, the Senate, and the Oval, and in big enough numbers so that the Republicans don't have the sort of power to stop them. And hopefully by that, let's ask that. By 2020, no, by the midterms, are Democrats going to have figured out a better way to message? Yes. Because that's part of the problem, right? Um, they're not getting through to the people that they need to get through to. You know, people who are Democrats already, they're in line. It's the ones who aren't. And those people are not getting the message. So that's a good thing if they're going to be able to improve that. Um, I don't know. It's like, honestly, it's like they should bring in like, I don't know, sort of some sort of a marketing agency or something to help them figure out how to do that. Wisconsin Judge Hannah Duggan goes on trial July 21st of charges of helping an illegal immigrant evade the authorities. Will she be found guilty at trial? No. Is this going to go to trial? That's a yes. RFK Jr. does weird things, like taking his grandchildren to swim in waters known to be contaminated with bacteria. Does he do these things intentionally to disgust and frighten the public? No. Does he do these things because he's no longer able to process accurate scientific information? Yes. Um, and where are the parents? Okay. Like, I'm sorry, but if that was my parent and he was doing something like that with my kids, he would only be doing it for 30 seconds before it was a no. So, yeah, makes you wonder, will there be more airport cancellations, delays, and ground stoppages like the Newark International and Pennsylvania due to equipment failure, lack of staff in the US? Yes. I saw a clip, and I don't know when this event happened, but it was of a plane, like a big like passenger plane, that was coming in for a landing, and there was a fire, by the wings. Right, plane was on fire, and it's coming in, and there's absolutely no doubt that he is going to hit. It's like it was a bigger helicopter, and literally, um, for some reason, there wasn't anybody in the helicopter. But anyway, someone comes running over to the helicopter, and literally, I didn't think helicopters could ascend that fast, but went right up, and like a nanosecond later, the plane came through and like absolutely would have demolished both transport vehicles. Makes you wonder, will the hurricane season in South Florida be worse this year than last? I'm sorry, but that is a yes. Stay safe. Will Trump still be president by Christmas? Small yes. Is it possible that in 20, my question, is it possible that in 2025, 2026, um, Trump will leave the United States permanently? Yes. Um, since 45 is illegitimate, do you pick up that he realizes he will be removed from office? And is that why his regime is on steroids? Okay, does he think he's going to be removed from office? He does, and then he doesn't, and then he does. It depends on the day. It depends on who's around him and talking. It depends on what media he is absorbing. Um, and I think that the reason that his regime is on steroids, I'm going to ask that question this way. Is part of the reason that the Trump administration is able to do and seemingly get away with some of the atrocious behavior because they figured out no one will stop them. Yeah. As of right now, nobody's making them play nice. Um, will there be eventual like Nuremberg type trials for Trump and his administration? Yes. Will 45 actually stand trial physically? Will he physically be there to stand trial? No. Will members of the administration be charged with crimes against humanity? Yes. Is it possible that many of Trump's inner circle are reincarnated Nazi war criminals? Really strong yes. Okay. Um, thank you. Amazing questions again. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. It's a weekend. Something nice for yourself and someone else. And until I see you next time, take care and be well. Bye for now.